ఫ్రెండ్స్, పొద్దు నుంచి చాలా మంది మాట్లాడినారు కాబట్టి నేను ఎక్కువ మాట్లాడను. I only request all of you to give me permission to say whatever I want to say in about 5 or 6 minutes in English, so that what I want to say, there will be some clarity. My dear friends, I don't think India has gone through this kind of a crisis in the last 70 years as it is going through now. I also travel across the country, meet several people, and I get an understanding. Whatever we have been talking since morning, I think we need to talk of the context of India. The situation is mind-boggling in this country. We cannot imagine this kind of a situation in this country, as I've said, in the last 72 years. Several of our friends have spoken about several aspects, but I would like to talk about 3 or 4 important things. The major institutions of this country, we are talking about democracy, Prajaswamyam. The major institutions of this country, that is the legislature, executive and judiciary, have completely collapsed in this country. I am not saying, the parliamentary records say 45% of the people who are sitting in Indian assemblies and parliament have a criminal record, rape record, murder record and a corruption record. 45% of them. The rest of them are billionaires and millionaires who are sitting in Indian parliament. You cannot become an MP in this country if you do not spend 100 crores. I was there in Huzur Nagar just about a week ago. Spent about 2-3 days. I know what kind of money they have spent for a small by-election. You can't become an MLA in this country if you don't spend 10 crores. In addition to criminal record, the kind of money which they are spending to get into act. That is one aspect. The second aspect, when we talk about, if you look at, Professor Hargopal is here, historically, when we look at Parliament used to meet for 150 days, 160 days, or sometimes even more. Now Parliament does not meet even for 100 days. An important legislation called 370, Amit Shah brought in at 11 o'clock into Rajya Sabha. By 5 o'clock, it was passed. No discussion. Many of the Parliament do not even know what is 370 is all about, or 35A is all about. The bill has been passed. It became an act. It went to the Parliament next day. Parliament also discussed, and it was abrogated. An important thing which existed in this country for 70 years, Jammu and Kashmir is burning today. And Jammu and Kashmir has become a jail today. In every front of every house, there is an army post sitting there. 1 lakh army has been sent to Jammu and Kashmir. That is the situation. Highly militarized zone in the world. Nowhere in the world you will find that kind of an army, that kind of a military anywhere in the world except in Jammu and Kashmir. That is the situation today existing. Is there a discussion? The one institution, Chaptan, one institution in this country, Parliament has completely collapsed. The second major institution is judiciary. Justice delayed is justice denied. The Washington Post wrote an editorial just about 3 days ago. The present litigation which is pending in India will take 425 years. I don't believe in second birth, no re-janma. I only have one janma. Edana nanik judgment ravalante nee 4 janmalu undali. That is the situation. And my friends lawyers are sitting here. Judiciary is completely sold out institution today in this country. Gogai was one of them. When he addressed that press conference saying that judiciary is taken when Jammu and Kashmir is burning. So my dear friends, the second major institution, I don't want to talk about it, is completely going to be defunct. It is going to be having only RSS fellows and BJP fellows in the next 3-4 years. Judicial Commission has already made a recommendation. Judicial Commission, the government is not agreeing with those recommendations. Senior most judges of this country, as all of you know, Tamil Nadu Chief Justice has been transferred to some other court. Judges are being transferred. Judges who are independent are not getting positions in this country. They will never continue to be there. That institution is also going to become completely saffronized, communalized. I don't want to talk about it in detail. First institution is completely collapsed, defunct. Second major institution in democracy is judiciary. That is going to be completely saffronized, communalized. Will have full of RSS and BJP fellows in the next 2 or 3 years if we continue to keep quiet. Executive, I don't want to talk about. Civil servants, neither they are civil nor servants in India. The constitution of this country says Every person is a public servant. We are masters in a democracy. Are they functioning like that? Bureaucracy is corrupt. Bureaucracy is completely indifferent for the concerns of the people of this country. Here is the top police official says there are 30 organizations which are violating the law of the land, including human rights organizations, civil liberties organizations. We are talking about civil society. All of us are uncivil in this country because they are saying you are not a civil society, you are an uncivil society in this country. So the third major institutions in this country are followed. Three pillars of Indian democracy are completely different. The so-called fourth pillar of Indian democracy, the mass media. All of you should know, my dear friends, Ambani today owns 75 television channels in India. And in the next 2 years, you're going to be having 200 television channels in India. Information is power. Ambani owns 75, the television channels he owns in this country. Media is completely criminalized. You listen to any television channel, you would not know what is happening in this country. They're only spending publicity, propaganda in this country. And then Ambani not only has television channels, his equity, his shares, his interest. So another major institution in this country called mass media is also completely collapsed. In that kind of a context, I think it is very important for us to talk about, look at other instruments of the state. Right to Information Act. Parliament has already brought up an amendment recently to the Right to Information Act. For 30 to 40 years, all of us fought for Right to Information Act. That act also is now diluted. I don't want to talk about what is happening to CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation. Central Bureau of Investigation has not completely any kind of a credibility in this country. That is a major arm of our democracy. I take Central Vigilance Commission. It didn't even have a chairman for quite some time. They didn't even appoint people. CBI is also corrupt. Two major officials of the Central Bureau of Investigation had to resign. Both the top man and the second man had to go because they were also corrupt institutions. Then I don't want to talk about RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India has no autonomy. That is why entire economy in this country is completely collapsed. Some of them are saying, economy slow down. I'm not saying economy slow down. Economy has shut down in this country. The kind of unemployment which we have in India, we did not have it for the last 50 years. The kind of growth and development which we are talking about, that growth is not there. Here is a government which manipulates data, manipulates statistics. We didn't have it in 70 years of Indian democracy. Statistics are manipulated. Information is manipulated. Data is manipulated to show the growth. So RBI is also collapsed. And I don't want to talk about Election Commission. Election Commission is also totally a one-sided institution today. RSS BJP is running, this Election Commission. And let us not think, when you talk about democracy, some of them are thinking democracy means EVMs, ballot boxes, and voting. That is not the spirit of the Indian Constitution. Democracy means people are supreme. People are sovereign. That is what is democracy is all about. So when you take, several kinds of institutions in this country, and then, they recently brought about another amendment, Unlawful Prevention Activities Act. In this act, anyone who speaks is anti-national. Now earlier, only institutions. Now today, anyone, any individual, you speak, I speak, you are anti-national, or you are otherwise, urban luxury. That is the kind of a situation which is emerging in this country. So when you look at, even Public Safety Act, and then, Amit Shah and Narendra Modi is every day talking about, national Citizenship Act. They want to have all over the country citizens. We have seen what happened in Assam. 19 lakh people have been eliminated. Here is a party which is talking about one nation, one culture, one language. One language. And then they will tomorrow talk about one Modi. Anyway, I'm one of those people. This country is not ruled by parliament or democracy. This country is ruled by 1.5 people. What is 1.5 people? Shah is one. Narendra Modi is only half. Narendra Modi is also not that powerful in India. That is the kind of a situation. As someone talked about, my friend in CPI talked about, Narendra Modi and both Amit Shah should be in jail. Narendra Modi is responsible for killing 2,000 Muslims when he was the chief minister in Gujarat. And his visa was cancelled to America and other places. But today, he is the prime minister of this country. Shah is responsible for indulging in all kinds of criminal activity there, murder activity there. But unfortunately, he is the home minister of this country. So recently, 49 leading people, artists, poets, writers, academics have written a letter. And later, someone filed a case said that they are indulging in sedition. Of course, later, that was withdrawn. That's a different kind of a thing. You can't even write a letter to the Prime Minister of this country. You cannot even appeal to the Prime Minister of this country. That is the kind of a scenario which is emerging in India. In that kind of a context, it is important for me to talk. India is no longer an Indian republic. It is Golwalkar's republic. It is Savarkar's republic. Savarkar is going to be given Bharat Ratna immediately if the Maharashtra elections are over. Nathuram Godse will also be given Bharat Ratna in this country if all of us keep quiet. That is the situation which is emerging. What is Savarkar's philosophy? Savarkar's philosophy is anti-minority, anti-Dalit, anti-Christian, anti-communist also. Anti-communist also. We know the history of Savarkar and Golwalkar ideology, and that is the kind of an ideology they are trying to talk about it. In that kind of a context, I think, there's a fear psychosis in India. అందరూ భయపడుతున్నారు ఈ దేశంలో మాట్లాడడానికి కానీ రాయడానికి కానీ కోర్టుకు వెళ్ళడానికి కానీ there's a fear psychosis. The BJP is creating that kind of a fear psychosis in this country so that we will not speak, we will not talk. We will not talk. There is a lot of wisdom in this country. That is why we are sitting here boldly talking about what is happening in India. No one is talking about democracy is on the basis of issues of this country. Poverty is a major problem. Unemployment is a major problem. Economy is a major problem. Look at Maharashtra elections or recent Lok Sabha elections. They were not fought on elections. They are talking about only nationalism. Nationalism, the kind of a threat which is there in this country now. If you don't say Jai Shri Ram, you will be arrested. If you don't say Bharat Mata Ki Jai, you will be arrested. That is the kind of a situation which is emerging. Avanu chuste champestunaru. Professor Visweswara Rao is looking at cow romantically kill him. That is the kind of a situation which is emerging in terms of cow vigilantism. Look at mob lynching which is taking place in India. I interact with several kinds of minorities and students. They are living in total fear in this country. So, my dear friends, lastly to say, everyone is talking about Modi Wadi in this country. What is running in India is Manuvadi running in India. There is a parallel constitution going on in India. Manuvadi constitution is going on, and Indian constitution is also running parallelly. That is the kind of a danger which is going to be emerging. Before I end up, I think it is very, very important that the entire national register of citizenship should be abolished in India. Amit Shah is talking about it every day. That is going to be having. Some of us will not be even Indian citizens. One, that national register of citizens, come about. Not only Muslims are going to be not going to be included, or Christians. That is the dangerous thing. As I said, Lok Sabha recently passed in the last session of Parliament 35 bills. Rajya Sabha passed 32 bills. Have been passed. All of them have become legislation and act. Where was the discussion? Where was the debate in the Indian Parliament? Where was the opinion of, though there is not much of an opposition, who are there, 50 or 60 people are there, that voice has to be heard. So I think, to wind it up, I think, they are subverting the Indian Constitution. Constitution is being completely destroyed. They are manufacturing history. They want to write their own history. That is Savarkar history, Golwalkar history they want to write. That is the danger. They are going to be capturing all the universities in this country. And recruitment which is going to be taking in universities is only going to be people who believe in RSS, BJP ideology. They are talking about Hindu majoritarianism. That is the danger in the country. They are talking about muscular nationalism. So my appeal lastly is, I think, from these kind of forums, we should send a strong message both to the central government and the state government. చంద్రశేఖర్ రావు రోజు బంగారు తెలంగాణ గురించి మాట్లాడడం కాదు కదా, చంద్రశేఖర్ రావు బొంగళగారు తెలంగాణ చేస్తున్నావు కదా, ప్రజలు చంపుతున్నావు కదా, బూడి తెలంగాణ అయిపోయింది కదా. ఈ రాష్ట్రంలో చదువు లేదు, ఒక హాస్పిటల్ లేదు, ఒక స్కూల్ లేదు. 5,000 schools Mr. Chandrasekhar Rao has closed. I filed a petition in the High Court that has not yet come for hearing. 5,000 schools he has closed. And look at, I'm a professor, I teach in the university. I know what is happening in the education sector. Health is important, education is important. If any one of you go to Gandhi Hospital, instead of dying tomorrow, you will die today. That is the situation in Gandhi and Usmania Hospital. You will get a new disease. I go to Gandhi Hospital regularly. Not even water is available in Gandhi Hospital, Mr. Chandrasekhar Rao. After Telangana వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ రాష్ట్రంలో చదువు గాని, ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ గాని, ఉపాధి గాని ఇంప్రూవ్ అవుతుంది అనుకున్నాము. కాబట్టి మై డియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, Chandrasekhar Rao is not, in isolation. Narendra Modi is not different. Chandrasekhar Rao is not different. He is functioning in the overall context of, how to make this nation a fascist nation. How to make this nation. The other day someone was speaking, saying that, this country will become a Hindu Rashtra. No, this country is not becoming a Hindu Rashtra. We are already in a Hindu Rashtra. Hindu Rashtra. If all of us keep quiet, constitution will be amended, then India will become a Hindu nation. That is the kind of a danger. That kind of a danger we did not see in the last 72 years. So, lastly, I'm one of those people who firmly believe that, this is what, following message, we have to send from these kind of meetings and seminars. Unlawful Prevention Activities Act has to be completely scrapped from the statute books of this country. Because under the name of unlawful prevention activities, you can be arrested, I can be arrested, anyone can be arrested, for sedition. Sedition is no law. Several democracies in the world do not have sedition, but in India we have sedition. I'm also saying this sedition law of 124A of the IPC should be completely scrapped. And we must also repeal the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. I know what's happening in Kashmir, what these armed forces have been doing for the last 30 years, 40 years, what kind of human rights are violated of the poorest of the poor and majority of the people there. So we should also repeal Armed Forces Special Powers Act. We must also repeal and amend the National Security Act. In the name of national security, they are arresting everyone. I will also demand that repeal of section 499 of IPC relating to defamation. Otherwise, anything, you write, anything you are speaking, they will say that, it is defamatory writing, sedition writing. So I'm also in favor that, national registration of citizen should be completely abolished in this country. What is happening in Assam will also happen in Hyderabad and, rest of Telangana in this country. I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity. We are going through a major crisis, not only an economic crisis, a political crisis. There is a crisis in every sector. If we don't speak on these issues, address on these issues, there is no future for this country. Future is only with all of us well-meaning people. For us, we have got to create a new path of new India. Not what Narendra Modi is talking about, not or Bangala Telangana which is talking about, an India which believes in constitutional morality, an India which believes in constitutional ethics, an India which believes in democratic values of this country and secular values of this country. We did not get, just like that, the values of socialism, secularism, and we need to retain them. I thank all of you for giving this opportunity. Thank you very much.